Today's episode is going to be about deployment tips to help you in managing your OCD tendencies. Honestly, deployments is one of the hardest parts of military life. And specifically, the anxiety spiral can feel so unbearable. Deployments are hard enough without your own brain making them harder. But that's exactly what happens when OCD gets involved. And what's interesting is that research shows that communication frequency during deployment actually correlates with spouse anxiety levels. So, the more you check, the more anxious you become. Isn't that fascinating? So, today I'm sharing exact tools that you can use to help you feel less anxious during deployment anxiety and find peace even in the uncertainty. These are going to be 4 practical strategies that you can use right away. So I remember when my husband was told that he was deploying to Afghanistan, y'all, it happened to be his birthday. We had just found out that I was getting a full time job and we were living overseas in Germany. So getting a full time job overseas was a big deal for me. And we'd also found out in that same week that we were pregnant. So I remember sitting down for my husband's birthday dinner at home. Like we literally had the candlelight going and then we got a knock at the door. It's like, gosh, why is it always a knock at the door? Bad news. And it was, and y'all, I'm bad about like the names and titles of all these people. You're probably better at it than I am. But it was one of his leaders, okay, at the door, one of his officers who was saying, pack your stuff, you're leaving for Afghanistan. And it's like, what? Yeah, it was one of those situations where we weren't expecting it, but it is part of the military life. My husband was new to the unit, so it was basically him catching up to the people who were already deployed. Anyway, so then he packs his bag. We go to airport, we're waiting around, and it was like very sad and stressful. Then turns out they weren't ready for him to go just yet. So they told him, all right, we'll keep your bags packed. We'll let you know when we are ready for you. Oh my gosh, like story of your life with the military, right? The hurry up and wait. But anyway, he ended up deploying a week later, and it was incredibly gut wrenching and sad that first time seeing him go and head off to a war zone, and I'm pregnant with our first son. It was a whole thing. And actually, at the time, I wasn't even sure we were having a son. We ended up doing the gender reveal over Skype. Zoom didn't exist back then. Isn't that funny? Oh my gosh, just thinking back on all these memories, it's crazy. So here's what deployment OCD looks like. First, you've got the communication obsessions where you're checking your phone every few minutes, needing immediate responses, analyzing every text for hidden meaning. You may also have safety compulsions where you're constantly checking news about their location, you're researching every possible danger, or you're needing reassurance about their safety. Like you could be asking the other military wives of, hey, have you heard from your husband? How's it going? What are they doing? Etc. Oh, and then another compulsion is the time zone torture, right? Because they're likely 3 to 9 hours ahead of you, depending upon where they are in the world. And so you're calculating every moment and thinking about what they're doing, and you're trying to envision that they're safe, and you're also worrying when you don't hear from them on schedule. And here are some tools that can help you work through those worries and those compulsions. So, tip number 1, limit the amount of news that you're watching. Because the more you research, the more anxious you're going to feel. So, I encourage you to decrease any of that political news or things you're seeing on TV or researching online. Just focus on official military updates only. Second, have some flexibility around your communication times. Maybe you can agree that every Sunday afternoon is your once a week check in so that it's not too much, it's not overdone, but hopefully there could be some predictability around when they can call home. And if for some reason you don't hear from them, then err on the side of no news is good news because you have no other evidence or facts to go on. Tip number 3, I encourage